Thank you for being here today. My name is Claire Timmermans, and I'm working as an ethical hacker for the NEBRC Student Services.
And I'm Drew Heron. I'm also one of the ethical hackers here at the NEBRC. We're here today to give you a quick overview about malware, what it is, how it can affect your business, and the steps you can take to protect yourself.
So what is malware?
Malware, as stated in the name, comes from two words: malicious software. It has been specifically designed to cause harm to any device it is installed on, and in result, it will cause harm to your organization. The malware works by locking, stealing, deleting, encrypting, controlling, mining, or using money on your devices without your permission. Are there many different types of malware out there?
Yes, there are. Usually, the first thing we think of when we hear the word malware is a virus. Viruses, much like a flu virus, are designed to spread from host to host. It works by attaching itself to a legitimate program or document that can run the code. A worm is quite similar, except it runs automatically. They also have the ability to replicate themselves. The result of this is that the virus can cause damage by harming the system's software by corrupting or destroying your data.
A bot is a device that has been infected with malware, enabling an attacker to control the device remotely. These bots can be connected together to form a connected network that can be used by the attacker. These are known as botnets. The largest known botnet is known as Zeus. This was created in 2007 and is still currently in operation. This Zeus network has over 13 million devices connected to it, and at its peak operation accounted for over 90% of all online banking fraud. Another way in which an attacker can infect a device with malware is by using a technique called a Trojan or a Trojan horse. This is named after the ancient Greek story of the deceptive Trojan horse which led to the fall of Troy. A computer Trojan acts in the same way. An attacker will hide malware in another program to attempt to trick you into downloading and installing it onto your computer.
The type of malware which is currently increasing in number of attacks is known as ransomware. As the word itself shows, you can tell that there's a ransom involved. This type of malware encrypts your data and then demands a payment for the key that will decrypt it back again. There's currently a very famous ransomware attack known as WannaCry, which resulted in an attack on over 200,000 victims and over 300,000 computers. More information on this subject can be found on the NEBRC section specifically dedicated to WannaCry.
Another well-known type of malware is spyware. This malware gathers information from your computer and sends it back to the attacker. This can be anything from programs called keyloggers that log the keys you press on your keyboard, making it very easy to gain access to your passwords, to programs that will give the attacker complete remote access to your computer.
Adware, just as the name suggests, involves a commonly known product called an ad, short for advertisement. This type of malware generates unwanted ads on your screen. Well, you're probably thinking that all ads are a sign of malware, but that's not the case. These are ads with malicious intentions that will try and encourage you to click on them to either download a malicious program or redirect you to a malicious website.
So how does malware get onto my devices?
Well, there are multiple different ways in which attackers will try to infect you with malware. They could try to deceive you by sending you phishing emails or text messages that look like they come from reputable organizations but are fake. These are not just regular emails and texts because they will even have links or files attached for you to download. These files and links are not safe, and once you've opened them or downloaded them, the malware can now infect your device.
Another way that attackers will try to infect you with malware is by placing malicious adverts on websites which sometimes come in the form of winning expensive items or money. These try to get you to redeem the item, and all you need to do is input your personal details. They will also encourage you to click on these ads. These will redirect you or download a malicious program that will cause your device to get infected by malware. Another way that malware can get onto your devices is that it can be added to software that is freely downloadable and then installed by yourself. This software normally comes from third-party websites or files shared through peer-to-peer networks.
Hackers use a technique to entice you to open the infected USB sticks on your device by deliberately dropping them in public areas. If you fall for this trick, then this is one of the ways you could get malware.
Now that I know what types of malware there are and how they get onto my devices, Is there a way to know if my device is already infected?
There is indeed. Just like when you're feeling ill, there are signs, or shall we call them symptoms, that show when your device has been infected. One of the first things you will notice about your device is that the device will be a lot slower than usual, and it may even freeze, crash, or restart on a frequent basis. Another sign that you may find is that when browsing the internet, you will notice random pop-ups and unwanted websites appear, or even start to run automatically.
Sometimes you may even notice unknown icons, files, or folders appear out of nowhere without you creating them. When you are browsing the internet, you are redirected to other websites rather than the website you've clicked on. Every time this happens, it may not be malware. However, if you're trying to connect to a well-known website and are redirected to an unknown website, this could be an indication of malware. What actions can I take to prevent myself from getting infected by malware?
First of all, ensure that you have either Windows Defender or Mac X Protect turned on and updated, or an antivirus program installed. Antivirus software is a set of programs that prevent, detect, and remove malicious software from the system. It does this by scanning your devices for known malware. If malware is found, the antivirus will take the infected files and folders and remove them from the system. You should also be cautious about the websites that you visit when browsing the internet. Try to minimize the amount that you download from the internet and ensure that when you are downloading programs, to make sure that they are from legitimate sources. When using a mobile device, only download apps from manufacturer-approved stores such as Google Play or the Apple Store. These apps are checked for malware that may cause harm to your devices.
One of the ways attackers are able to get into your system is because your devices aren't up to date and need to be patched. Make sure that the software and firmware are always kept up to date with the latest versions. Once there are no more updates being made for a specific product, also known as the end of its supported life, you should consider changing it to a more modern alternative. Microsoft has a schedule whereby it will update Windows every second Tuesday of the month. These updates are used to patch recently found issues that may cause security concerns and should be installed. This can be done when shutting down the device and choosing the shutdown and update option. You can practice good asset management, which includes keeping a track of which versions of software are currently installed on your devices to be able to target security updates quickly, so be sure to keep everything updated.
It is important to keep an eye on removable devices such as USB drives and memory cards that can be plugged into your devices, because if they're infected, they will also infect the device that is plugged in. An example of an attack using this method is when a perpetrator deliberately drops an infected USB in public locations such as parking lots, which will later be picked up by curious victims and opened using their devices.
A good step to take when protecting your devices is by turning on a firewall. A firewall is like putting a steel fence around your house, which you can then create small holes in to allow certain connections to enter. You can also activate a web proxy, web filtering, and content checking to detect and block executable downloads. Windows has a firewall enabled as default. You will find that you have to allow or deny connections. Mac does not have this firewall feature enabled as default. However, this can easily be enabled, and the NEBRC has a guide that will show you how to do this.
In the case of getting infected by malware, it is always good to have a backup of your data. This means that you have multiple copies of your data safely stored in different places. Therefore, you should take regular backups to feel a sense of security. The NCSC advises that you use the 3-to-1 method. This means that you make 3 backups over 2 different mediums, such as the cloud, external hard drive, or something similar, with one of these being in a different location to where your main storage is located.
To prevent the malware from spreading across the network, filter files to only allow the file types you are expecting to receive. Make sure that obsolete platforms are properly segregated from the rest of the network. Perform regular reviews and remove user permissions that are no longer required to limit the malware's ability to spread. Last but not least, ensure that admins don't use their accounts when they are checking their emails or browsing the internet. If you think that your computer is already infected with malware, there is a step-by-step guide by the NCSC for you to follow. This guide is also available on the NEBRC's website. Some frequently asked questions about malware are: what are the uses of malware?
Many early infectious programs were written as experiments or pranks. Today, malware is used to steal personal, financial, or business information for the benefit of others. The most common usage of malware is to gain personal information such as social security numbers, bank and credit card numbers.
What are the damages caused by malware? There are a few ways that malware causes damage. First, it causes data loss. The malware deletes files or wipes hard drives. There can also be account theft, whereby malware that has a keylogger function leads them to steal your passwords and any other user's accounts on the computer. Botnets cause damage by taking control of your computer and turning it into a bot. Afterwards, hackers use these bot computers to help them crack passwords, send bulk emails, and other malicious uses. One of the most damaging effects to your business would be financial loss, when the attacker has access to your online bank accounts and credit cards. How can I avoid getting malware?
A few things you can do to avoid getting malware are: practice caution when working with files from unknown or questionable sources. Do not open emails if you do not recognize the sender. Download files only from reputable internet sites. Install a firewall. Install an antivirus. Scan your hard drive for viruses monthly. So how do I know if I have malware on my devices?
Increased CPU usage, slow computer or web browsing speed, problems connecting to the network, freezing or crashing, modified or deleted data, appearance of strange files, programs or desktop icons, programs running, turning off or reconfiguring themselves, strange computer behavior, such as emails or messages being sent automatically without your knowledge. There seems to be a lot of network activity when you're not using the network. The available memory on your computer is lower than it should be. Programs or files appearing or disappearing without your knowledge. And file names changing. How does malware spread?
Malware can spread through social media, pirated software, removable media, emails, or websites. What do I do if I think I have malware?
If you have malware on your devices, there is a guide to help you on the NEBRC website. It is also available on the NCSC website. Which antivirus is the best? Which one should I use?
Well, there are many different antiviruses available, and they each offer lots of different features on top of protecting you against malware. When deciding which antivirus is best for your business, it is advisable to evaluate what extra features you're looking for and which antiviruses offer them. There are both free and paid antiviruses available. Usually the free ones will also have a paid version. Are free antiviruses any good?
Free antiviruses are fine and will protect your device, but will only give you basic protection and only cover one device. Therefore, you may wish to only pay for antivirus software if you want to protect more than one device or you wish to use extra features that the paid versions offer, or both of these. Otherwise, a good free package will be a good start to protecting yourself against malware on a single device.
Thank you for watching this presentation on malware and the effects and remedies for your business.
If you'd like to discuss malware further or have any other further questions, please contact the NEBRC's inquiries email. You may also follow the NEBRC on Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube.